is wrong with the two following sentences? I don't have no time right now. I never have no worries about COVID. Well, in both sentences, they're using the double negative. It's a grammatical structure that is considered informal grammar, never formal grammar, and never acceptable in the written mode in most cases. So let's start with the definition. A double negative is using two negative modifiers or two negative words that are modifiers in the same sentence that should never be paired together because one negative word negates another negative word and changes the meaning in your intended sentence. We want to have only one negative word in order to create a negative statement in a sentence. You never want two negative words in the same sentence. It changes the meaning. So let's start with an example of the correct use of a sentence and then change it to the double negative in order to see how the meaning changed and you did not intend to say what you said in the double negative. I don't have any money. That means you're poor and you have no money. That is a direct statement. Double negative is going to be, I don't have no money. Well, if you don't have no money, that means that you have money. But that's not what the speaker or the writer meant to say. They wanted to make it a negative statement. And that double negative of don't and no created a very different meaning from what the speaker or writer intended to say. So to fix the double negative, take out one of the negative words and just have one negative word, not two, in the same sentence. I don't have no time right now should be I don't have any time right now. There don't is the negative word, but any is not a negative word. Or I have no time right now. There just no is in the sentence, and it's a negative statement. That's how you fixed the double negative from I don't have no time. The other example of I never have no worries about COVID, never and no are two negative words and negated the statement. Just take out one of the negative words. An example to correct it would be, I have no worries about COVID. Or I never have worries about COVID. You either have never or no in the sentence, but not both, never and no. That is what we call the double negative, and you've changed the meaning. Well, in the oral informal language, if they feel very negative about something, they will often throw in two negative words to reflect the degree of negativity that they feel. So I don't have no worries. Well, I don't want to worry, they think. And so two negatives make it stronger. No, two negatives negate each other and turn it into a positive statement. A negative word and a positive word still makes it a negative word. It's two negative words that change it to its opposite meaning, a positive word or a positive idea. Here are the typical negative words that you are likely to see in a sentence where you should never have two of these in the same sentence. No, no one, not as in a contraction like won't, nothing, none, never, and neither. These are all negative words and they should never be in the same sentence. They negate each other if you have two of them in the same sentence. Here's another chart called the diminishing words, which are negative words that should not be with other negative words in the sentence. They will negate each other. Only, but, barely, and scarcely. Now, when you have these words in the same sentence, they negate each other. You should have only one negative word in your sentence, not two, in order to maintain the negative statement. Let's take a look at some examples of the double negative and then how we fix it by taking out one of the negative words or changing one of the negative words to a positive word in order to maintain the negative statement. Mary didn't feel nothing. Didn't has did not in it, and nothing is a negative word. If Mary didn't feel nothing, you're basically negating didn't and nothing and saying Mary felt something. And that's not what the speaker meant. So how do you fix that? Mary felt nothing. There's only nothing now in the sentence, not didn't. Or Mary didn't feel anything. Didn't is a negative word, and anything is more of a positive word now. You've now changed the double negative to what you meant, a negative statement, not a positive one. I haven't only one life to give to my country. You have haven't, not, and only. Both are negative words. Therefore, you need to take out one of those negative words. So here are two ways that you could fix that double negative. I have but one life to give for my country. There you took out the not. Or I have only one life to give for my country. I have is not negative there, just only. So you just made one negative word in that sentence to maintain your negative statement. I was so sleepy that I couldn't hardly, or I couldn't barely keep my eyes open. Couldn't is negative, and hardly and barely are negative. You're double negative. So how do you fix it? Take out one of the negative words. I was so sleepy that I could hardly, or I could barely keep my eyes open. There you have one negative word, not two, and you've now maintained the negative statement without the double negative. I can't help but say something to the teacher. Can't is a negative word, and but is a diminishing word. The double negative. Take out one of the negative words and you fix the double negative. I can't help saying something to the teacher. There you took out the but. I haven't only 2 tickets left to sell to you. Haven't and only creates the double negative. How do you fix it? Take out one of those negative words and you are now saying what you meant to say. Here's how to fix that. I have only 2 tickets left to sell you. There you took out haven't and you changed it to have and you kept the only. Now you've maintained the negative statement. So hopefully you won't have no problems with the double negative. Is that correct? Of course it's not. That was a double negative, right? Actually, it should be, so hopefully you won't have any problems with the double negative. And I'm positive you can avoid the double negative if you simply remember these very simple rules. Best of luck to all of you.